So I wanted to show my makeshift shelter that I created today. Luckily I finished before it got dark. So I made this whole thing starting from this morning. Made this pit first, and then I started making all of these pine branches that were actually laying around in the back by the lake. So I had a lot of material that I didn't even need to cut. I cut some things, like I made a strong kind of X beams that were wedged between the trees, and they're super strong. Like I just hung on them to make sure that they're strong enough to not collapse on me at night. And then I just began filling up with these pine branches. And all this stuff I found in the forest, I just found trash like wooden planks and a couple other little things. So I got my little fire ready. Just have to build a little bird's nest, start this fire. Gathered all this firewood, cut everything up with the cold steel shovel, Laplander saw. I got my little Lucy lantern hanging, my gloves, and just wanted to show my sleep system. That's my Hill People Gear backpack. I have a thermal reflective bivy. It zips up, has a mosquito net, not necessary a lot of times. This is a quilt that I made with Argon 6.7 and I think 9.2 with Apex 3.6 insulation on the inside. And I basically just made a rectangle. My mom helped me sew this together because I'm not that good at this. So we made this and it's worked really well. Got my Z-Lite Thermarest pad. This is a little thing I found in the forest. This is a Dyneema ground sheet, extremely durable. And what this white thing is a fire blanket. The reason I have a fire blanket, and this thing cost me about 20 bucks on Amazon. So what I'm just gonna do at night is wrap this over my whole sleep system. That way the ambers and the sparks, if they land, they just go out. This thing is made out of fiberglass, and it's super cheap. Honestly, like I could use this as a ground sheet, but it's not waterproof. So yeah, I'm just gonna lay here right next to the fire and use this to protect me from the ambers and in the middle of the night. By the way, I grew up in Brooklyn. I am not some expert in the wilderness. I watched some videos, just went out and tried this, and if I could do this, any of you can do this. This is not something that is outside of our control or reach. We can go out into the forest and just set this up with very minimum gear. I mean, I made this quilt. This bivy is pretty cheap. It's made of Tyvek and it's reflective. The Thermarest thing is also very cheap, and this is like 20 bucks if you want to lay next to the fire, and the tools were pretty cheap, so it didn't cost me that much, but it's very, very comfortable and interesting setup to just try this out, to just feel yourself in nature, build your own shelter. Like, don't bring a tarp, design it yourself. I should put more pine branch. If it is gonna rain, I will. It's gonna come through here a little bit, but this thing is water resistant, this bivy, so I'm not too worried about the rain. Kind of mostly wanted to protect the fire. Yeah, this is life in the wilderness. You know, fuck that coronavirus shit. Come out of your apartment, do something fun, construct something like this, and sleep here for the night. I mean, this is, you know, I've been spending too much time watching Netflix and the Tiger King and all that stuff. This is, like, you could come out here and be alone and still be so connected to nature and so intrigued into what you're doing and crafting and creating things. Yeah, you have this time. We all have this time now to explore new possibilities. Before we didn't. We had to work the 9 to 5. For a lot of people right now, there is no 9 to 5, or they're working from their computer, but they're not really doing anything on the weekends because they don't know where to go. Just come out to the forest. Come out here. There's nobody out here. It's even more peaceful. There's hardly anybody hiking. I just went off trail. Well, I'm by my community. This is a place I like to camp by the waterfalls. Once it gets dark, I'm gonna go for a dip and a meditation in the cold water by the waterfalls. Just love it out here. Love it in nature. Everybody will love it. You just have to come out and experience it. Don't be afraid. Don't be uncomfortable. Just buy some equipment. It won't cost you that much. You could get all this stuff on Amazon or eBay for a lot cheaper. Yeah. Thanks for watching. So let's see what we have for dinner. I got some organic avocados. This is turkey jerky, natural, no antibiotics, extra virgin olive oil, wild caught salmon, sardines. Got that for breakfast, marshmallow and some Earl Grey. I actually barbecued the turkey jerky. And this is lentil and ramen noodle, organic ramen noodle with spices and things I've added. So really nice dinner in my newly made shelter.